The Hawks have a major problem on their hands. This changes everything for the Atlanta Hawks and their season. At one point, they were expected to make the playoffs with the number 6 seed. That was within 3 games of the Atlanta Hawks' reach, and for some reason, they have lost 5 of their last 6 games, and now the Atlanta Hawks are in the 8th position. We're acting like everything is fine, right? No, I am finally throwing in my panic flag. And to be honest, if you feel like doing the same, talk to me in the comments, because I need to. I mean, it's just a lot to deal with. Again, the Atlanta Hawks right now sitting at the number 8 position at 36 and 41. Again, the Atlanta Hawks, they had the perfect opportunity. Let's go back to August. No, not August, but March 25th. I mean, they just came off of a 3-game winning streak, beating Golden State, who is at the number 5 position in the West. So that was a good job. Losing 2 to the Houston Rockets and to the Miami Heat. Again, that just shows how the Atlanta Hawks season has gone all season. They play up and they play down to their competition. And then back on the 30th of March, the Atlanta Hawks beat the Milwaukee Bucks, who are sitting in the number 6 position. And they were in a perfect position to seal the deal and possibly get into position into the number 6 position going into the playoffs. And unfortunately, they have dropped the ball. They have fallen behind, and it just doesn't seem like there is going to be a chance that the Atlanta Hawks can get out of this. Let's just jump straight to the game review. Again, the Hawks lost 121-105. This was a situation where Karl-Anthony Towns, he did his job. He had a good night against the Hawks, 30 points, 11 rebounds, and the shooting was on their side. Just being completely honest, the shooting was on the Knicks side. I mean, you had other guys putting up double digits like OG Anunoby with 24 points and Mikal Bridges with 20 points. So again, they did their job. But on the Hawks side, again, just field goals or just shooting from a field alone. Zaccharie Risacher was 5 for 10 from the field, 2 for 6 from the 3-point line. Trae Young was 5 for 15, 3 for 7 from the 3-point line. And then the other high volume shooters like George Niang, 5 for 16, 3 for 13 from the 3-point line. Caris LeVert, 6 for 11, which is a little bit better, a little more consistent, I would say, but 1 for 4 from the 3-point line. Terrence Mann, 6 for 8, 2 for 3 from the 3-point line. So again, the Atlanta Hawks, the shooting just wasn't there. And I've seen that happen too many times this season where the Atlanta Hawks, they do really well. Sometimes they play outside of themselves against certain competition like the Lakers at home or like Golden State at home. They play up to their competition, but then when it comes to, say, a team that is beatable or that they've beat earlier in the season, they somehow start to fall behind, or they'll fall as far as 120. They won't shoot as well. They won't make the points. They won't do what got them in this position. Now, this isn't me bagging on the Atlanta Hawks because, of course, I'm still rocking with my team from the jump, and I can even go into certain things that have definitely lended itself to be pretty well for the Atlanta Hawks. First of all, is 404 day or 404 weekend. 404 day was yesterday. And that's basically every April 4th, the Atlanta area, we celebrate, Atlanta Hawks, the sports scene, the music culture, all of that good stuff. So that is something that has been going on in the Atlanta area. Again, also too, Dyson Daniels, this is the top 4. These are the top 4 guys in the Defensive Player of the Year award: Dyson Daniels, Evan Mobley, Jackson, and Draymond Green. Again, these guys, all of them are bigs. He's the only, guard in the situation. And I've talked to you guys online, and you guys have left your comments talking about, why he's not necessarily number 1 in my eyes. I see where you're coming from. He's the best defensive guy on a subpar team, a mid-major, if you will. So I can understand, Draymond Green, he's a floor general of a very good team contending in the Western Conference. And the other three guys, they're on teams that are easily in the playoffs. So I can understand where you guys are coming from in that regard. Still don't agree, still don't like it, but it is what it is. I feel as though this guy, in my book, is the defensive player of the year. He's definitely stepped up for the Atlanta Hawks in many, many ways. And also, too, just putting it out there, it was, what was it? Yeah, it was picture day today. It was picture day for the Atlanta Hawks. Listen, I'm trying to give you guys something to, laugh at, if you will, or even just look at in a brighter way, if you will. Dyson Daniels is in the picture, and somehow he has mustered up the gumption to put his headband over his eyes and whatnot. So I guess that's kind of funny or whatnot. But again, back to what we were talking about, which is the unfortunate loss to the New York Knicks. And this puts us in a weird situation going down the rest of the season. Of course, tomorrow they take on the Utah Jazz. Where is that actually? I want to see. Is that at home? No. No, I'm sorry. Yes, that is at home. So they will be at home tomorrow, 6 p.m. They'll be taking on the Utah Jazz. And that comes before there's a big matchup versus the Orlando Magic. Let's not forget, we still got 2 games left. So in retrospect, yes, the Atlanta Hawks, they've fallen into the number 8 position. So that just basically says we don't have a home court advantage in the play-in tournament, if you will. Fine. The Atlanta Hawks can possibly still get the number 7 position and get the home court advantage because I feel as though that is important. They take on the Orlando Magic right after that. That is going to be April 8th and again on the 13th. And then you have some teams that you can definitely get a win against. You definitely owe a win against the Brooklyn Nets. And then, of course, with the Philadelphia 76ers, you've owned them the entire season. So why not continue on something that is, beneficial? But again, the Hawks have put themselves in this situation many a times before, and I've talked about this until I'm blue in the face. How the Hawks have played up and played down to their position, to their competition, losing to the Wizards in a back-to-back, losing to the Raptors before going on a 9-game losing streak. And then playing up to their competition, beating the Celtics at home and away, beating the Cavs in back-to-back wins, beating the Lakers in overtime, things of that such. Even beating the New York Knicks in the in-season tournament to advance to Las Vegas, and Trae Young rolling the dice on the sign. Listen, that is what I feel as though the Atlanta Hawks season is built up on. It's just been a lot of wins and a lot of losses. And this is, in my opinion, this is when I want to give Landry Fields his flowers, just being completely honest. To do all of this with these players, just to be completely honest, man. I mean, Jalen Johnson's not playing. Kobe Buffkin's out. As of recently, of course, Larry Nance is not playing. Not Onyeka, but Clint Capela, he's not in as well. You had stretches of time where you didn't have V. Krejci. There were stretches of time where certain players weren't available. Even the guys that you traded, like Bogdan Bogdanović earlier in the season. With all of that, and also, too, the Atlanta Hawks were trying to get KD during the trade deadline. With all of that, this guy has found a way to get this Hawks team to the number 8 position, 7-8 position. Imagine if Jalen Johnson was available. Imagine if we were to get KD, in that trade and not have to settle for what we ended up having to settle for. Again, not complaining about Karis LeVert, not complaining about Terrence Mann or George Niang, but my point is that Landry Fields has found a way to get all of this with this core group. And I feel as though he has found a way to convince Trae Young to stick with the Hawks. I'm sure that they're going to find a way to get him a max, a super max or whatnot. He's going to re-sign with the Hawks, and he's going to be able to build with this core group that he has. Dyson Daniels, the Great Barrier Thief. He was able to get that in the trade with DeJounte Murray and the Pelicans. You got Zaccharie Risacher, the number 1 draft pick, and also he's going for the Rookie of the Year. Again, and Dyson Daniels, Defensive Player of the Year. So with all of the negative that I went over earlier in the video, the positive really outweighs it. And dare I say, it would be great to look ahead to next season. Not looking past the playoffs, not looking past the play-in. I feel as though I want the Atlanta Hawks to definitely make their mark. Let people remember you during the offseason somehow. Take a team to 6, that type of stuff. Make it interesting. But I feel as though this Atlanta Hawks team will be something to watch next season for sure. But with all that being said, my name is Walter Pollard. This is Atlanta Hawks Digest. Do not forget, tomorrow at 6 p.m., they will be taking on the Utah Jazz at home. Hopefully, the Atlanta Hawks can get on the winning track before taking on Orlando, and hopefully they can get the next 2 wins in that series. Like I said, my name is Walter Pollard. This is Atlanta Hawks Digest, and I'm signing out. Peace.